I saw yesterday on Dean Shareski's blog where he had taken a tour of his hometown using Google Street View. I thought that was kind of a great way to use the tool and use screen recording to do some digital storytelling. One of the comments that I left there is that maybe if students don't want to hear themselves, they could use a KMZ file in Google Earth, but I thought I'd try this out and see how it goes. I grew up in Syracuse, Nebraska, which is an hour south of Omaha, half hour east of Lincoln. Syracuse has a little under 2,000 people in it. It's actually one of the second biggest city in the county. I hear people talk a lot about their small towns of 5,000, and my grandma still lives in a town of 250, and the town I graduated high school from was only 1,000. So Syracuse is where we lived until I was about 14, and you can kind of get an idea of how big it is. Highway 50 and Highway 2 up here are both pretty major highways in the state of Nebraska. So we'll go ahead and zoom in. So there's the house. We can drop on in. The people that bought the house from us did quite a bit of updating. That's not the house. It's on the other side of the street. There it is. So there's a yard. When we lived there, there was a basketball hoop here, a big evergreen tree here, and another one over here. Our evergreen tree had the big C9 or C7 Christmas lights on them that I really do like. So here's the garage. When we lived there, there was these two family rooms, and then bedrooms were all upstairs except for kind of the back. This yard was a lot of fun to play in. A lot of good times playing basketball with some of the kids in the neighborhood. Our neighbor's house was the most fun. I would ride my bike out of our garage down this sidewalk, make a turn around here, and you can kind of see it right there. There's a little break, and that's where I would take my BMX and pop a wheelie right there as I was coming back up the hill. But this fence is pretty new. You know, I said that the highway here is one of the major ones in the state. The fence that we had was made out of trees that we had to cut down. If we zoom around, there it is. There used to be a row of trees here that we cut down and used them to make a fence along the side. Didn't really keep a whole lot in, but it looked nice. And if we look towards the back of the house, this is all new. We had the patio or deck up here, but there was no building underneath it. We were not allowed to go out on the patio because of fear that it would collapse. And then they built on that extra garage, which from what I've heard is a great work area. But this was all yard. We had a shed back in here that was about a quarter of that size. So we used to run around through here. This is probably where we spent most of our time with friends and sisters. The Mustang Motel is a little roadside motel that doesn't get quite a lot of visitors, but has always stayed open. The only time I'd ever actually been back in there was when our water heater went out. We had to go over there and take showers before school or church or whatever it was. And this building here is actually a very large complex. OPBD is the local electricity company, and that's one of their main offices there. They built that right before we moved, and so this was just a big field for most of the time I was growing up. And so we would go over and fly kites, or if we had a big football game, we could go over there and do it there. But so that's kind of a little bit about the neighborhood. If we zoom out a couple, we can scroll down, and then this here is the elementary school that I attended. That's the church across the street. Not much has changed. Same parking lot, same building. You can't really read it, but I believe it says Syracuse, Dunbar, Avoca up there. 3 towns that this school feeds. The upper level was the junior high when I was there. The lower level was all elementary. This was actually upper elementary. Fourth grade was here, I believe, and 5th grade was here. Maybe it was vice versa. This was the kindergarten room. This is where I went to kindergarten there on the end. There's another building behind there that was kindergarten through 3rd grade. This was the at the far west end of the building was the 6th grade area. So, of course, the cool 6th grade kids had their own place, as we probably needed it just to get our egos out. This was the baseball field that we played on in Little League a lot, so we spent a lot of summer nights there. And then this house was where I went to the babysitter. She was a friend of my parents, and she has a son that's a couple years older than I am, so we made lots of trips up this sidewalk and then down this sidewalk up to the school. So you can see this is where the 1st through 3rd grade is in that building, along with the gym in the back. One of the cool things about Syracuse is the Main Street, and the Main Street is still brick. Let's go right there. It's a brick. You can see it right here. They haven't paved it. You can see this says Harold's. It's what the grocery store used to be. My grandma used to be a clerk at Harold's, so I have fond memories of that store. Another one of my favorite places in Syracuse is the donut shop that is here on the right hand side. When we would go either pheasant or coyote hunting, my dad would always stop and pick up donuts and some chocolate milk, and I enjoyed the hunting, but I probably enjoyed the donuts more. I still don't know if I found a better donut place than Daylight Donuts. The last place that I spent a majority of my time is my grandparents' old house. They don't live there anymore, and the house has changed quite a bit over the years. But on the right-hand side here, this is my grandparents' house. They have done major changes to it. My grandparents probably moved out about 15 years ago, but this used to be a garden that somebody tended. There's trees along here. This was their garage. My grandma was a big garage sale person, so she always had garage sales. This street down here where Mohawk intersects goes out to the highway, so it was a easy place for grandma to have her garage sales. So the house is quite different from what I remember growing up. They've redone the siding, added landscaping to it. I think when my grandparents lived there, it was white with blue trim, and now seeing it red and tan is quite a shock. So that's kind of where I grew up. Like I said, spent majority of my younger years there, but still get to go back every now and then and see some family and friends that I still have down there. But I think the Street View gives you a great way to do some digital storytelling, mostly nonfiction, but you can really do this anywhere in the world. And if you want to do fictional, you can make up, find a spot that fits your setting and do it that way. But thanks for taking the time.